Hello everyone, my name is Aastha. I welcome you all to our classes for International English Olympiad for class 7th. Herein, this is our 9th class wherein we will be doing the topic of pronouns. We will be understanding various categories and then moving on to the questions. Alright, this has been a basic drill in all the classes. So let's get started. So the first question that comes to our mind is, what exactly are pronouns? How do we use them? How do we identify them? So let's understand that first. Now, as we have done most of the times, हम पहले एक example लेते हैं. उस example से फिर हम pronoun की meaning derive करेंगे, okay? Suppose I say my best friend's name is Ranbir. Then I go on to describe my best friend as, I say Ranbir lives in Delhi. Then I also say Ranbir's favorite food is chole bhature. And I also say Ranbir is a good boy. Now here you see, if you can identify one similarity in all these 4 sentences, what is that? Is there anything that is being repeated again and again? Anything that I am saying again and again which I should not? Yes, the answer is Ranbir. I say my best friend's name is Ranbir for the first time. Then I say Ranbir lives in Delhi. Second time. Then I say Ranbir's favorite food is chole bhature. Then I say Ranbir is a good boy. So you see, in 4 sentences, I am saying Ranbir 4 times. However, can this be written as, we'll see that on the next slide. Now the previous example, it can be written as, my best friend's name is Ranbir. He lives in Delhi. His favorite food is chole bhature. He is a good boy. Now you see, what we have done here is, in the previous slide we were repeating the word Ranbir. My best friend's name is Ranbir. Ranbir lives in Delhi. Ranbir's favorite food is chole bhature. Ranbir is a good boy. But what we have done? We have replaced this noun Ranbir with a pronoun. Pronoun is what? He. Pronoun he lives in Delhi. Pronoun his favorite food is chole bhature. Then another pronoun, he is a good boy. So now you see how the word Ranbir is avoided from being repeated again and again, and how it has made your language easier. So this is the meaning of pronouns, which we will see. So what are pronouns? Pronouns are those words that we use instead of nouns or noun phrases. So the words that we gave an example of, like he, we also gave the example of his and him, and all these words which we use instead of the noun. What was Ranbir? Ranbir was a noun. It was a proper noun. हमने nouns पढ़े थे पिछले chapter में. You know, Ranbir is a proper noun. Proper noun वो होता है when we refer to any specific person. So the words that we use instead of these nouns or phrases, ताकि हमें repeat ना करना पड़े, so they become pronouns. Just think how many times we would have to repeat nouns in our sentences if we did not have pronouns in English. You know, अगर हमारे English में pronouns नहीं होते, he, his, him, कुछ नहीं होता, तो हमें same noun कितनी बार repeat करना पड़ता. My best friend's name is Ranbir. Ranbir lives in Delhi. Ranbir likes chole bhature. I went to Ranbir's house. Ranbir gave me Ranbir's pencil. You see, इतनी बार हमें वो प्रोनाउंस रिपीट करने पड़ते. क्या करने पड़ते? रिपीट. द नाउन्स वी वुड हैव टू रिपीट, बट हमारे पास प्रोनाउंस हैं तो हमें रिपीट नहीं करने पड़ रहे हैं. एंड वी यूज प्रोनाउंस instead of these nouns or noun phrases. So this is the importance of pronouns in English. So now we have understood what pronouns are, and we will take a few examples so that आपको clearer understanding हो. See, we write Aastha likes to eat. Aastha is eating a chocolate. Here, what is the noun Aastha likes to eat? Aastha is being repeated. The noun, the proper noun Aastha is being repeated. So we will replace it with a pronoun. Aastha likes to eat. She is eating a chocolate. You see how we have avoided repetition of the noun and we have replaced it with a pronoun. Next, Ayush is running. Ayush got punished for being late. What is the proper noun here? Ayush. It is being repeated. So we'll just write instead, Ayush is running. He got punished for being late. So now again we have replaced the proper noun with a pronoun. This is the basic definition of pronouns where we replace a noun or a noun phrase with a pronoun and avoid being repetitive. So now we have a few more examples. The books are heavy. My brother could not carry the books. Here you see, this is not a proper noun but a common noun. The books, it is being repeated again. So instead of the books you write, the books are heavy. My brother could not carry them. All right. Now then another example. My aunt will visit me today. My aunt's kids are very naughty. What is being repeated here? My aunt. Again, my aunt. So instead of my aunt's kids, we write her kids are very naughty. So you see again, pronouns क्या कर रहे हैं? Pronouns are replacing a noun and they are avoiding repetition. Here them is a pronoun, here her is a pronoun. Now let's move on. So we have understood how pronouns works. Now which all pronouns do we have? What are the various types of pronouns? हमें कब कौन सा pronoun use करना है वो हम अब understand करेंगे through the types of pronouns. Okay, we will understand each type through examples and application. फिर उसके बाद we will move on to a quiz. So let's start. Alright, so now we will start with the first category of pronouns, which is the personal pronouns. What do personal pronouns do? When the pronoun denotes the doer of an action or the subject, मतलब the pronoun is denoting the doer of the action और जो subject which is the focus of the sentence. जैसे अभी हमने example दिया था कि you know Ranbir is my best friend. Then if instead of Ranbir, if we say he said he is my best friend. So he is a personal pronouns because what it is doing is it is denoting the doer of the action or the subject. It is replacing the main subject, which is Ranbir, so it becomes a personal pronoun. Alright. So whatever pronouns that denote the doer of an action or the subject, They are referred to as personal pronouns. Here we have the examples. I, you, he, she, it, we, you, they. Now, all these are what? They are personal pronouns. Very easy to remember, the ones who denote the doer. You have to remember about the doer. Alright. Here you see these personal pronouns have three categories. We can talk about the doer in the first person, in the second person or in the third person. First person कब होता है? जब हम खुद बता रहे होते हैं कि मैंने ये काम किया. I made a sandwich today. We went to picnic today. So you see, I made a sandwich today में I is the doer, मतलब मैं doer हूँ. तो I becomes the personal pronoun. We are going to the picnic today. So action कौन कर रहा है? Picnic पे कौन जा रहा है? We. So we is the personal pronoun. जब हम second person में किसी और की बात कर रहे होते हैं कि you did this. For example, you should go to school today. So you. When you school को किसने जाना है? कौन जाएगा school? You. तो action कौन कर रहा है? The second person. So you becomes the personal pronoun. Then third person. Third person में मैं अपनी बात नहीं कर रही, मैं किसी को बोल नहीं रही, you नहीं बोल रही. Rather, I am talking about the third person. Third person matlab I am talking about someone else who is not in the picture. For example, अगर मैं और आप बात कर रहे हैं, this is me and this is you. And both of us are talking about another person who is not here. तो हम उसके बारे में बात करेंगे third person में. जैसे he is going to the mall today, or she did not come to school today. Yeah, it is a good movie. They arrived in the morning. So इसमें doer कौन है? Doer is a third person. He, she, it, they, all these. तो आपको फर्स्ट पर्सन, सेकंड पर्सन, थर्ड पर्सन में डिफरेंस समझ आया? फर्स्ट पर्सन जब मैं खुद की बात कर रही हूँ, फर्स्ट मतलब मैं या फिर हम, मैं अपनी और अपने एक ग्रुप की अगर बात कर रही हूँ तो I होगा या फिर we होगा. फिर जब सेकंड पर्सन की बात आती है, जब मैं आपको कुछ बोल रही हूँ, फॉर एग्जाम्पल you, तो मेरा और आपका कॉन्वर्सेशन हो गया I, you. But third person, जब मैं और आप मिलके किसी और के बारे में बात कर रहे हैं, then that becomes the third person. जब हम बात कर रहे हैं, but that person is not here, so हमें उसके लिए third person में बोलना पड़ता है कि it या he या she. Okay? So यही तीनों हमारे personal pronouns हैं. I, we, first person में, second person में you, and third person में he, she, it, they. All right? Okay, so now we will do a few examples of personal pronouns. Examples से आपको थोड़ा सा better समझ आएगा, आप उन्हें apply कर पाएंगे ना sentences में, तो आपको understand better होगा. Now the first sentence is, I am playing games. अगर हम personal pronouns का meaning याद करें, तो personal pronouns are the ones which replace the doer. Doer. तो doer of the action. Doer. Right? And यहाँ पे action क्या है? यहाँ पे काम क्या हो रहा है? Playing games. So who is playing games? I. What is the personal pronoun? Who's the doer? I. The personal pronoun I. And हमने एक और चीज सीखी थी, which was first person, second person, third person. So I is which person? I is when I'm talking about myself. So it becomes the first person. Moving on to the next example. Now the next example here, the action is, now the sentence is we are eating pizza. Action क्या है, क्या काम हो रहा है यहाँ पे, they are eating pizza. And who is eating the pizza? यहाँ पे doer कौन है, doer is we. Okay, so we is the personal pronoun, we is the doer. And we कौन से person में है, first, second or third? We is when we're talking about ourselves, right? So it becomes the first person again. Then moving on to the third example. The sentence says you are running. What is the action taking place here? Running. That someone is running. That is the action. But who is doing the action? Who is running? We are given the personal pronoun you. So you is the doer and the personal pronoun. But you कौन से person में है, first, second or third? You is the second person. Why? Because second person मतलब जब हम सामने वाले से बात कर रहे हैं. You are doing this, you are doing that. इस example में you are running. Okay, this is the second person. Next we move on to the last example. Sorry. We move on to the last example. This one says he is studying. So what is the action taking place here? The action is studying. And who is studying? The doer is he. So this becomes the personal pronoun since he is the doer. And which person is this? First, second or third? Now we remember that third person when we're talking about someone else. Not me or you, but we're talking about someone else, the third person. That is he or she. So he is the third person, I and we. This was the first person. You was the second person and he the third person. All of these are personal pronouns. I hope it is clear to you. So now we have done the first category. We have done the first category of pronouns, which was the personal pronouns. Now we are doing the second category, which is reflexive pronouns. Reflexive pronouns are used when the object is same as the subject. Now object is same as the subject. ये आपको सुनने में थोड़ा सा टेक्निकल लग रहा होगा, थोड़ा सा कंफ्यूजिंग लग रहा होगा, but now we will take a few examples, and examples जब लेंगे तो आपको इसका मीनिंग अच्छे से समझ आ जाएगा. So let's see. And we have these pictures. You see, this one says we protect ourselves from the rain with an umbrella. Now here we are talking about protecting ourselves. इधर subject क्या है? Subject is we. Okay, we, and we is also a personal pronoun. But protect क्या कर रहे हैं? Protect ourselves. So object is, object और subject कौन है? These people, मतलब us only. We. So we use as a personal pronoun that we protect ourselves. So ourselves, जो हम object के लिए pronoun use कर रहे हैं, that becomes the reflexive pronoun. So the subject and object is same. जो subject है, जो ये kids हैं, जो हम लोग हैं, we are doing the action on ourselves. मतलब हम अपने आप को protect कर रहे हैं, किसी और को नहीं, अपने आप को. So we protect ourselves. Subject and object are same. So we use a reflexive pronoun ourselves. Now next. They hurt themselves when they were playing. तो यहाँ पे the subject is they are the doer, तो ये तो personal pronoun हो गया. But object क्या है? Object is themselves. उन्होंने अपने आप को ही hurt कर लिया गलती से. तो themselves. This becomes the reflexive pronoun. Okay? Now next. She blames herself for all the trouble. What is the subject? She. What is the action she is doing? She is blaming herself for all the trouble. Doer कौन है? She. So she is the personal pronoun. But object क्या है? What is she doing the action on? She is blaming herself. अपने आप को blame कर रही है. तो subject and object same. तो herself becomes the reflexive pronoun. Alright? तो यही होते हैं reflexive pronouns when the subject and object are the same. जैसे इसमें we had we protecting ourselves. Now we and ourselves do subject, we doing the action on ourselves. Subject and object same. Then they themselves. Subject and the object same. Reflexive pronoun themselves. Here also she and herself. Reflexive pronoun herself. Subject and object are same. Alright? Now the next category of examples. The dog hurt itself when he jumped over the fence. Now the dog. What is the subject here? Dog. अब यहाँ पे you have to remember dog जो है वो noun है. वो pronoun नहीं है. Dog is a noun. Okay? It is a noun. But what is the action being done? Hurt itself. तो object क्या है जिस पे action किया गया है? That is itself. Dog ने अपने आप को ही hurt कर लिया. So itself is the reflexive pronoun. When the subject and the object are same, then the pronoun used is the reflexive pronoun. Now next. The children are amusing themselves with the snow. Now you see here what is the subject? The children. Again, this is not a pronoun, this is a noun. Because किसी noun को replace नहीं किया है, ये noun ही है अभी भी. An action amusing themselves with the snow. Now you see what is the object? Themselves. The children were having fun and they were amusing themselves. So themselves is the reflexive pronoun. When the subject and the object are same. Now the next example. Did you enjoy yourself at the party last night? The question is, did you enjoy yourself at the party last night? Now you is a personal pronoun. Okay, the action is being done by you. The question is, did you enjoy yourself at the party last night? So action क्या है? Enjoy the party last night. Who is it? Who is doing it? The doer कौन है? Doer. Doer is you. So this is the personal pronoun. But हम क्या कर रहे हैं अभी? हम कर रहे हैं अभी reflexive pronouns. Reflexive pronouns तब होते हैं जब the subject is the same as the object. So yourself is the reflexive pronoun. So now let's move on. Now we have a list of reflexive pronouns for your reference. जैसे हमने पर्सनल प्रोनाउंस की लिस्ट करी थी फर्स्ट पर्सन, सेकंड पर्सन एंड थर्ड पर्सन में, वैसे ही सिंगुलर की जब हम बात कर रहे हैं, यहाँ पे हम सिंगुलर और प्लूरल में हमने कर दिया डिफाइन. सिंगुलर माई सेल्फ, मतलब जब मैं सिंगल हूँ और मैं सिर्फ अपनी बात कर रही हूँ. योर सेल्फ, जब हम सिंगुलर में किसी और की बात कर रहे हो, सिर्फ एक इंसान की, व्हेन यू आर टेलिंग देम. या हिमसेल्फ या हरसेल्फ और इटसेल्फ. प्लूरल में जब आप किसी ग्रुप ऑफ पीपल की बात कर रहे हो, जैसे आप बात कर रहे हो आपकी टीम की, विच मीन्स योर ग्रुप, अ ग्रुप ऑफ पीपल विच यू आर अ पार्ट ऑफ, जिसमें आप भी इंक्लूडेड हो, तो आर सेल्व्स. पर किसी और की बात कर रहे हो और उन्हें डायरेक्ट करके बोल रहे हो, तो योर सेल्व्स, यू शुड वॉच योर सेल्व्स, ऐसे करके. And themselves is when you're talking in third person about somebody else altogether. Now next. Alright, so now there's this another category of pronouns. This is intensive or emphatic pronouns. Now these pronouns I have taken this like after the reflexive pronouns. Why? To explain and contrast these for you alongside reflexive pronouns. Now these are the pronouns which add emphasis to a certain noun. They add emphasis. Emphatic, it comes from the noun emphasis. So they add emphasis to the noun. And I have taken it after reflexive pronoun as a sort of a subcategory. But this is not a subpart of reflexive pronouns. You should be clear on that. Now these have the same self words of reflexive pronouns. Whatever examples we saw of reflexive pronouns, like myself, herself, himself, so all these self words, they are the same as reflexive pronouns, okay? But their idea and their aim and their usage is not the same. What is the difference between reflexive and intensive pronouns? That we will see on in the coming slides. Okay, you just have to know that these words, whatever, which are the emphatic pronouns or the intensive pronouns, they are the same self words of reflexive pronouns. All right. Okay, so reflexive versus intensive pronouns. Let's see. Now, what do reflexive pronouns do? They give meaning to the sentence and they reflect back on the subject. Whereas what intensive pronouns do is they do not give meaning to a sentence. Do not give any meaning. They are not really needed. Not needed. The sentence can work perfectly well without the intensive pronouns, but they are only used for dramatic emphasis. ठीक है, they are only used for emphasizing. Emphasis हम कभी किसी चीज का करते हैं, you know, it is not really necessary to do it, but हम उसे emphasize करते हैं क्योंकि हम उसे extra importance देना चाहते हैं. So यहाँ पे they are not needed. इनकी कोई जरूरत नहीं है. We just use them for dramatic emphasis. Dramatic emphasis, let's see how. Here the example is for reflexive. I'm seeing first here. I bought myself some clothes. Now here, what is the reflexive pronoun? Myself. I bought myself some clothes. Now यहाँ पे, what is myself doing? Myself is giving meaning to the sentence. क्योंकि अगर यहाँ पे myself नहीं होता और यहाँ पे सिर्फ I bought some clothes, so हमें पता नहीं चलता ये किसके लिए कपड़े, किसके लिए कपड़े आए हैं या whatever. But myself के आने से हमें पता चला that this person whosoever is saying, जैसे अगर मैं कह रही हूँ कि I bought myself some clothes, इसका मतलब मैं अपने लिए, खुद के लिए कपड़े लाई हूँ. Alright, so it is giving meaning to the sentence. Alright, and is reflecting back on the subject. Subject क्या है? I पे ही reflect हो रहा है back. Okay? मैं अपनी ही बात कर रही हूँ, अपने कपड़ों की ही. All right. Now here in intensive, let's see the example here. Okay, let's see. The kids themselves went to school. यहाँ पे हम क्या कह रहे हैं? The kids themselves went to school. यहाँ पे हमारा pronoun क्या है? Themselves. ठीक है. But यहाँ पे ये themselves वाला जो pronoun है क्या कर रहा है? It is emphasizing on the kids कि kids जो है उन्होंने खुद कुछ काम किया. All right. Now, if we just say the kids went to school, तो यहाँ this sentence also and the first sentence also, both these sentences have the same meaning. All right, but themselves हमने add किया तो क्या हुआ? Kids जो है, जो हमारा noun है, जो subject है, उस पे emphasis कर दिया हमने दोबारा. It is emphasizing कि जो kids थे वो खुद ही school गए. All right. तो ये बस emphasis, एक dramatic emphasis के लिए है. अगर हम themselves यहाँ पे नहीं डालेंगे, like the second sentence, kids went to school, तो इसका भी मतलब same ही रहेगा. All right. I hope you have understood the difference between reflexive and intensive. Okay. And these are also called as emphatic pronouns. Emphatic ones. Okay. Okay, so now you see we have done pronouns and we have done two kinds of pronouns. First was the personal pronouns and second was the reflexive pronouns. Now we move on to the third category of pronouns, which is the demonstrative pronouns. Demonstrative pronouns are what? They are the words that point to specific things. Specific things. अब ये कैसे यूज होते हैं, कौन से demonstrative pronouns होते हैं, ये हम examples के फॉर्म में समझेंगे. But first you should understand that demonstrative pronouns are the ones that point to specific things. Okay? Let's move on to the examples. Now, this hand, this person is pointing towards a candy. So what do we say? This is a candy. Right, what is this? This is a candy. But if that candy is far off, just a minute. So if this candy is far off, you will say, that is a candy, right? You're pointing it towards a far off thing, that is a candy. But if you have the candy nearby, you say this is a candy. So in both the situations, it is being pointed towards a thing. And the pronoun being used is this or that. Sorry. This or that. So these two become demonstrative pronouns. Then another one. Now what do we say? These are many candies, right? So these we say these are candies. When it's plural and they are nearby, so you use these. But when they are far off and they are plural, so we say those are candies. So, as we learned, demonstrative pronouns are the ones that point towards specific things. So, demonstrative pronouns are the ones which point towards specific things, जिसमें हमने पिछले स्लाइड पे देखा this is a candy, that is a candy. अब यहाँ पे हमने देखा these are candies, those are candies. Singular में देख लिया, plural में देख लिया. When they are nearby and they are far off, this, that, and these, those. So this is the list of demonstrative pronouns. This, that, these, those. This, that. ये दोनों यूज होते हैं for singular and ये दोनों यूज होते हैं for plural. और जब पास में हो कुछ, this is this, these are these. So this is used for nearer, and that and those are used for plural. Alright, so demonstrative pronouns are very easy. There are only 4 demonstrative pronouns. This, that, these, those, when you're pointing towards something. So very easy. Let's move on. Okay, now we have the next category of pronouns, which is possessive pronouns. This is pretty easy to understand because what they do is they indicate possession or ownership. Pretty easy. Possessive pronoun है, आपको नाम से याद ही रहेगा. Possessive है, it comes from the noun possession. They indicate any sort of ownership या possession. And यहाँ पे पूरी categorization I have given. For first person singular, we refer to mine. Second person singular, yours. Third person singular and male, his. Third person singular and female, hers. Third person singular neutral, its. First person plural, ours. Second person plural, yours. Third person plural, theirs. Alright, this is pretty easy. Or possessive pronouns, easy to understand also. What do? They indicate sort of a possession or ownership. Let's move on. Okay, so here are a few examples of possessive pronouns. Like here, that is his house. Which is the possessive pronoun here? His. किसकी बात हो रही है? घर की. Okay. And पर वो किसका घर है? किसकी possession में है? किसकी ownership में है? His. Third person singular male. Alright, his. Other sentence, she asked me, is that pen yours? Now here, yours. ये किसकी बात हो रही है? पेन की. और पेन की ओनरशिप किसके लिए पूछी जा रही है? Yours. This is second person, can be singular or can be plural as well. Alright. So that's how the possessive pronouns work. I hope you have understood the possessive pronouns. Alright, now next is reciprocal pronouns. What do reciprocal pronouns do? When two or more nouns are engaged in same things or reciprocating to each other some kind of action. यहाँ पे जब दो nouns हैं या दो से ज़्यादा हैं, and what they are doing, they are reciprocating to each other कोई action. And there are these two reciprocal pronouns, each other, one another. ठीक है, they are used when there are these two nouns or more than two and वो एक दूसरे के ऊपर कोई action reciprocate कर रहे हैं, which means the first noun is doing the action on the second noun and the second noun is also doing that action on the first noun. या जितने भी nouns हैं वो एक दूसरे सब पे that action जो भी referred होगा sentence में, सब सारे nouns वो action कर रहे हैं एक दूसरे के ऊपर. Alright, let's see the example. Okay, now here the example, pretty easy. Let's see, आपको अच्छे समझ आ जाएगा. The players pass the equipment to one another. One another. यहाँ पे क्या action हो रहा है? The players passing the equipment. यहाँ पे noun क्या है? Players हैं. Okay, players, one player, two or more players, obviously. Right, क्योंकि यहाँ पे plural है, right? Two or more players, ये noun है हमारा. And what are they doing? What is the action being done? They are passing the equipment to one another. To one another मतलब ये एक दूसरे को ही तो pass करेंगे. They are doing this action, reciprocating it on each other. एक दूसरे पे reciprocate कर रहे हैं, एक दूसरे को pass कर रहे हैं. All right. So one another हमें यही बता रहा है. This reciprocal pronoun, that these players, this noun is reciprocating the action on each other. Alright, next example, same. While kids are smiling at each other. What is the noun here? Kids, two or more kids. And what is the action being done? Smiling. Okay, this is the action. And what is the reciprocal pronoun? Each other. So this each other, this reciprocal pronoun is telling us that these nouns, they are reciprocating these actions on each other. One kid is smiling at the another. Okay, there's this one kid जो second kid को smile दे रहा है, action कर रहा है. Second kid is also smiling at the first kid. Then there might be another third kid also. Second kid also smiling at third kid. Third kid also smiling at second kid. First kid also smiling at the third kid. Third kid also smiling at the first kid. ऐसे ही the cycle goes on. Alright, so all these nouns, all these kids are reciprocating the actions on each other. Alright, this is also easy to understand. These are reciprocal pronouns. Right? Now we have relative pronouns, another category of pronouns. This is also easy. When are relative pronouns used? They are used to connect any clause or phrase with another noun or pronoun. They are connecting what? Any clause or phrase with either a noun or a pronoun. And what use do they have? They provide information about the noun. We have the examples of relative pronouns like who, whom, whose, that, which. Alright, these are the examples of relative pronouns. What do? They're used to connect a clause or phrase with a noun or a pronoun. Alright, and they provide information about the noun. Let's see how do they do that. Okay, here. The girl who is sitting there is my sister. Now, what is the relative pronoun here? Here we have who. Okay, who is the relative pronoun? So, what is the action that this relative pronoun is doing? It is connecting this noun, the girl is the noun, and this clause or phrase sitting there is my sister. It is connecting the noun with the phrase. Okay, and in doing such thing, what is the action or what is the usage of who? Who, the relative pronoun, is providing us information about what? About this girl. The girl who is sitting there is my sister. Okay, हमें information किसके through मिल रही है? Through this relative pronoun. Alright. Now let's see the next example. The crew member whom I like has gone to Paris. यहाँ पे भी same चीज हो रही है. The crew member is the noun. Whom is what? Is the relative pronoun. This is the phrase. So the noun is being connected with the phrase with the help of the relative pronoun. And this relative pronoun is providing us information about the crew member. Alright, which is the noun. Another, the items which we bought have expired. The items, this is the noun. Which is the relative pronoun. We bought have expired. This is the phrase. Okay, now this noun is being connected to the phrase with what? With the relative pronoun which. And in the process, what is which doing? It is providing us information about what? About the noun. Alright, so these are relative pronouns. What do? They provide us information about the noun. They connect the noun or the pronoun with the phrase or the clause. Alright. Okay, so here we have the interrogative pronouns. What do the interrogative pronouns do? They're used to ask questions. This is pretty easy to understand from the name itself. Interrogative pronouns are used to what? To interrogate. Okay, used to ask questions. There are 5 main interrogative pronouns as given here. Who, whom, what, which, whose. Alright. So interrogative pronouns will be used to ask questions. Let's see the examples here. Who is this girl? This is a pronoun asking who is this girl? What is this book's name? What is the interrogative pronoun? And then whom do you prefer to vote for? Whom is the interrogative pronoun. So What is this? What are all these interrogative pronouns doing? They are asking questions. They're helping us to ask questions. All right. Now we have indefinite pronouns. What do indefinite pronouns do? They refer to a noun without mentioning about it or them exactly. Okay, they don't mention it or them exactly, but they refer to it. We will see how. Now they can be either singular or plural. Now here, each, every, everyone, anyone, someone, something, etc. Now there are, all these are indefinite pronouns. What is their usage? They refer to a noun or nouns without mentioning about it or them exactly. They don't refer to them exactly, but they don't mention them exactly, but refer to them in some manner through these indefinite pronouns. Let's see how. Okay, here is someone at the door. Someone is the indefinite pronoun here. So what are we doing? We are referring to a particular noun. Okay, what is that noun? That person who is at the door, that is the noun. And we are referring to it. Okay, but we are not mentioning that person directly because we don't know who that person is. We're just asking. So someone is the indefinite pronoun and we are asking about that someone. All right. Then in the other example, can you see anything? So what are we doing here? Anything. Now, whatever we are asking for, if that person is able to see, that thing, that particular thing is a noun and we are referring to it through the indefinite pronoun, but we are not mentioning it exactly. So in both these examples, what we have done, we are referring to a noun जो exist करता है, but we are not mentioning it exactly, but referring to it through what? Through these indefinite pronouns. All right, that's the job of indefinite pronouns. We have distributive pronouns. What are they used for? They're used to refer to person or things one at a time. The examples could be either, neither, each. So they refer to either a person or a thing one at a particular time. Okay. Let's see the example. I like to either read or listen to music during my free time. So either read or listen to music. So these are the distributive pronouns, and what are they doing? They are referring to one action at a particular time. Like here, they're referring to read, and then or is referring to listen to music. Okay. He prefers neither mangoes nor strawberries. Neither mangoes nor strawberries. So what is this doing? Referring to one thing at one particular time. That's, what are those? These are distributive pronouns. Okay. All right. So now let's move on to the revision part. We've done so many categories. Now we will revise all of them just once quickly. Okay. So pronoun and its kinds. Wow, how many pronouns do we have done? Have we done? Let's see. Personal pronouns. Personal pronouns are the ones which refer to the doer of the action, the subject, like I, you, he, she, right? Then interrogative pronouns. Now this is not in the order that we have done. This is just a list that I have inserted to revise all of these. Interrogative pronouns, हमें नाम से पता चल रहा है. What do interrogative pronouns do? They used to interrogate, right? Like who, whom, like that. Then we have Indefinite pronouns. Indefinite pronouns, they refer to the noun but don't mention it exactly, like someone, everyone. Alright. Relative pronouns. Relative pronouns used to establish some sort of relation, which means they help us provide information about something, like whose or that. Okay. Then possessive pronouns, they indicate possession or ownership. Right, how do they do that? Mine, yours, his, hers, etc. We did reflexive pronouns. What do reflexive pronouns do? Reflexive pronouns help to reflect where the object is the subject. Okay. Then intensive pronouns we did along with reflexive pronouns. Okay. They are the same as the reflexive pronouns in examples, but their job is different. Used to emphasize, also known as emphatic pronouns. Then demonstrative pronouns. They are used to point to specific things, this, that, these, those. We have reciprocal pronouns. What do reciprocal pronouns do? There are two or more nouns which are shown as reciprocating some action on each other with the help of these reciprocal pronouns. All right. Then we have distributive pronouns. What do distributive pronouns do? Distributive pronouns are the ones which are used to refer to any person or thing, like one at a time, like either, neither, each. All right. Distributive pronouns. So with this, we finish off with the concept of pronouns. Whatever there was to understand in the types and the concept analysis, that we have done. Okay. Alright, so now we have done all the concepts, and now it's the time to move on to the next segment, which is our quiz, and this part will test your overall learning and your overall knowledge. This is very important part, so pay attention. Okay, and take out your notebooks and notepad. I hope you have been writing the concept so far as well. Okay, let's start. Alright, so for the quiz, what we will be doing is, now every question you will be given 1 minute. 1 minute means 60 seconds. Why am I giving you 1 minute? Because you see, your question paper of IEO, it has about 50 questions, and so you can imagine that you get more or less a minute to answer the questions. Now this 1 minute is the maximum that you should be taking for answering the question. Now suppose there could be two, three categories of students. First category is, suppose you answer the question within that 1 minute. So I would request you to fast forward the video and skip right to the answer. You should not be wasting your time. Alright. Now the other students who are not able to answer the question in 1 minute, what you do, you don't skip to the answer. You pause the video and you write down your answer. Alright, it is very important to answer each and every question because there is no negative marking. Here you see, for every incorrect answer, no points, because there is no negative marking in IEO, so it is important that you attempt all the questions. Now for a question of which you are not sure about the answer, now even here and even in the exam, if you are not sure about the answer and you maybe think that B option might be correct or C option might be correct, so you should in that case play your luck and play your mind and make a guess and still give an answer, because it is a win-win situation. Either you will get the marks for that question or you will get a 0, right? But if you don't attempt that question at all, then you are anyway getting a 0 in that, right? So it is good to attempt those questions and Even if you don't know all the answers, try to understand and take a guess. Okay, so this is for every correct answer 10 points. This is just for your own little game where you can try to maintain a notepad. So here you write the name of the chapter and then the question, and then if it is correct you can give yourself 10 points. If it is not correct, you mark it here. So it is important to see these questions, the ones which you mark incorrect. It is important to go back to them later and then see where you did the mistake. Alright, this is just for your reference. For every correct answer you can give yourself 10 points. Alright, now let's start. Alright, so now we start with the questions. The first category of questions says, fill in the blanks with the most suitable pronoun from the given options. Given options out of which we have to choose the most suitable pronoun. Let's see. This is the bank dash was robbed yesterday. Which was robbed yesterday? B. Whose was robbed yesterday? C. Who was robbed yesterday? Or D. Whom was robbed yesterday? Here the correct answer is A. Which was robbed yesterday. Now this is a relative pronoun. What are relative pronouns? The ones which give certain information about the noun. They connect what? They connect the noun or the pronoun with the clause or the phrase. Clause or the phrase. And they provide information about the noun. So noun is the bank about which हमें information कहाँ से मिल रही है? Relative pronoun which से. Which was robbed yesterday. Alright. Alright, the next question says, the woman dash gave me the money was quite young. The woman which gave me money. B. Woman whose gave me. C. The woman who gave me. D. The woman whom gave me. And here the correct answer is C. The woman who gave me money was quite young. Alright. This is also a relative pronoun. What are relative pronoun? ये who जो है, this is used for people जब हम कहते हैं. the woman who, the girl who, the people who. Alright, they're used for people. The woman who gave me the money was quite young. So what is who doing here? Who, the relative pronoun, is establishing this connection between the woman, which is the noun, and the clause, which is gave me the money was quite young. Okay, and it is helping us provide information about the noun, which is the woman. The woman dash daughter was crying since long, tried to calm her. The woman whose which daughter? B. Woman whose daughter. C. The woman who daughter. D. The woman whom daughter. Here the correct answer is the woman whose daughter. Again, this is a relative pronoun. What is it doing? It is establishing a connection between the noun and the clause, helping us provide information about the noun, which is the woman. Why don't dash pick some nice flowers for your friend? A. She. B. Her. C. He. D. You. Okay, so here the answer is D. You. Why you? Let me tell you. How did I figure this out? Here, why don't dash pick some nice flowers for your friend? Alright, so here we are referring to you, which means the second person. That's why we'll be using the personal pronoun of you. What do personal pronouns do? They tell us about the doer of the action or the subject. All of dash went to fetch her friend from the airport. All of we, all of them, all of our, or none of these. So here the correct answer is all of them went to fetch her friend from the airport. Here the question says, my name is Ram and dash am a teacher. A, we am a teacher. B, I am a teacher. C, she am a teacher. D, none of these. This is pretty easy. I think this is the simplest question so far in all the questions I've answered in any of the topics. You know, here is the verb conjugation am. So for with am, what do we use? I. This is very easy. This is not for your class, I think. Anyway, the answer is, my name is Ram and I am a teacher. Alright, this is a personal pronoun. My grandparents live in Assam. Dash often come to see us. He often come to see us. Them often come to see us. C, they often come to see us. Correct answer is C. They often come to see us. We are talking about third person plural. Why? Because you see here, talking about grandparents. This is third person plural, so we will refer to them as they. And this is the personal pronoun. Alright, personal pronoun of third person plural. Here, dash our brother and sister. Us are brother and sister. We are brother and sister. C, I are brother and sister. D, none of these. Here the correct answer is B. We are brother and sister. Why we? Because we're talking about what? First person and plural, brother and sister. Okay? And this is plural only. This is also personal pronoun. This is the subject. Okay? We're talking about the doer of the action. Alright. My son loves books. These books that I have bought are for A, his, B, them, C, him. Okay. Now here, the correct answer is C, him. These books that I have bought are for him. Alright. Now this is we talking about this son. Son is what? Third person, singular male. Alright, so we will the correct pronoun here is C, him. Where is my gift? Is this beautiful watch for dash? Is this beautiful watch for his? Is this beautiful watch for it? Or is this beautiful watch for me? Here the correct answer is C, me. Why me? You see here, talking about this. This word, my, tells us that we will be using first person, singular here. So, me. Is this beautiful watch for me? Alright. The other ones, his is used for singular, third person male. It is used for singular, third person neutral. Alright. Rahul looked at dash in the mirror. A. Himself. B. Each other. C. Itself. D. None of these. So here we talked about Rahul. Rahul is a male, third person, so we will say Rahul looked at himself in the mirror. Alright. And for the others, each other. Now each other is which type of pronoun? Do you remember? Each other is the type of reciprocal pronouns. What was a reciprocal pronoun? The one where we have two or more nouns and they are reciprocating some kind of an action at each other. Okay. अब यहाँ पे suppose होता Rahul looked at Rahul and, for example, question होता Rahul and Riya looked at dash. तब वहाँ पे हम fill up कर सकते थे क्या? Each other. Why? Then it would have been a reciprocal pronoun. Because वहाँ पे Rahul and Riya both would have been reciprocating the action of looking at each other. Right? तब use होता है reciprocal pronoun. Now here see itself. It is used in third person neutral singular. But here Rahul is male. So third person singular male. Alright. Okay, so here, did you get dash a cup of coffee? A. Himself a cup of coffee. B. Yourself a cup of coffee. C. Itself a cup of coffee. Or D. None of these. Now here the correct answer is, did you get B. Yourself a cup of coffee. How do we know we're talking about the second person? By this word you. Did you get yourself a cup of coffee? Okay. Now the other options, himself, this is used for third person singular male, and itself is used for third person singular neutral. Alright. Okay, this question says, Bhuvan, this is Yatin, and this is dash wife Manu. A. His wife. B. Her wife. C. Their wife. D. Its wife. Now here the correct answer is his wife. Why his? This is what? This is third person singular male. We are referring to whom here? We are referring to Yatin. Yatin looks like a male's name. So we say this is his wife. For the rest of these, her is third person singular female. There is third person plural. Then it's is third person singular neutral. Alright. Okay, this question says, ouch, I've cut dash finger. A, our finger, B, my finger, C, its finger, or D, I finger. Now here, what are we talking about? We have to fill in a possessive pronoun and we'll be filling in my. Why my? Because here we are talking about first person singular. See, I have cut my finger. So we will be filling. So that's why we are filling my possessive pronoun. In the other ones, R is used for third person. Sorry, R is used for first person plural. C, it is used for third person singular neutral, and D, I is used as a personal pronoun. All right. Here the question says, Tracy is a good friend of A, your, B, her, C, him, D, mine. Now here the correct answer is D, mine. Tracy is a good friend of mine. Alright. Okay, so here, every time Sant and Teji go on long trips, they leave dash toothbrushes behind. A. His toothbrushes. B. Her toothbrushes. D. C. Their toothbrushes. Or D. Their toothbrushes. The correct answer is C. Their toothbrushes. Why their toothbrushes? Because you see here we're talking about Sant and Teji. And Sant and Teji, we would refer to them as third person, but in third person and plural. Alright, so for which the correct answer is there. Then A, his and her, here both of them are used for third person singular. His for male and her for female. Alright. This frog can't jump high because dash leg is broken. A. Its leg. B. Its leg. Again, but this is different. It is this one is with a contraction. This one is a contraction because we have here apostrophe. So this one actually is it is. Okay. Then C, his, and D, her. So here the correct answer is A, its. Why its? Because we are referring to whom? Referring to the frog. The frog is third person neutral. So we refer its. Not this its, because this one means it is. Alright. And here his is for third person singular male and her is for third person singular female. Alright. No, this is not Sabha and Sarah's house. Dash is in Karol Bagh. A. Her is in Karol Bagh. B. His is in Karol Bagh. C. There is in Karol Bagh. Or D. Theirs is in Karol Bagh. So here the correct answer is D. Theirs is in Karol Bagh. Right? Why the third person plural? Because we are referring to Sabha and Sarah. Third person plural. Okay. For the rest of this, her and his, they are used for third person singular. Alright, now this one says, Ruhi has found dash toy. Now she is happy again. So here Ruhi has found its toy. B, his toy. C, her toy. Or D, its toy. Now again, this D, its is not a pronoun. It actually is a contraction, refers to it is. Okay. Here the correct answer is C, her. Why? Because Ruhi seems like a female's name. And here we have she also, so we know it's a female we're talking about. So Ruhi refer to third person, singular, female. Alright. Okay, here the question says, give the teddy bear back to Jerry. It's dash. A, it's him. B, it's his. C, it's his. Or D, it's your. Here the correct answer is B, his. Okay, possessive pronoun we're talking about, and Jerry seems like a male's name. So third person, male singular. Alright, and then for the other you see here, C, his. This is a contraction and this one actually means he is. Okay. Alright, here, mother, did you bring dash the cake you promised? Did you bring they the cake you promised? Did you bring he the cake you promised? Or did you bring us the cake you promised? Or did you bring your the cake you promised? Now here, whom are we referring to? We're referring to mother. But whom are we asking about? Which means इसमें कौन से person का pronoun use होगा? Here we will be here we are assuming there are kids. Must be asking their mother. Right? Kids ही refer करेंगे ना mother को mother. So here mother, did you bring? The answer is, did you bring us the cake you promised? Alright. Okay, so here both Jaya and Suman help dash study during exams. Help other, B help each other, C help another, D help every other. So here finally we have a question of which kind of pronoun? Reciprocal pronouns. The answer is be each other. Why be each other? Because see, these are reciprocal pronouns. And what are reciprocal pronouns? The pronoun which show that these two nouns, okay, there are these two nouns which are reciprocating the action on each other. What is the action? Helping each other study. Helping to study. Now this action is being reciprocated by Suman on Jaya and by Jaya on Suman, which means Jaya helps Suman, Suman also helps Jaya. Alright, so here the answer is be each other. And with this we finish off our questions on pronouns. Alright, so
That's all for a class on pronouns. These are the one of the easier topics. All you have to do is understand which pronoun is going to be used according to the subject, according to the situation. Alright, so I will see you the next time. Till then, keep revising and keep learning. Thank you for watching.